Hey boys and girls, thanks for joining me again today for another math lesson. Today we're going to look at subtraction on an open number line. Now you might be thinking to yourself, open number line? I thought this was a number line. Is that open? It is a number line, but it's not an open number line. Usually if you see a line like the one we saw before with no numbers on it, you're thinking, there's no way that's a number line. I don't see any numbers on it. But you know what? It is a number line. It's a special number line called an open number line. So now that you know that, let's solve some problems together and see how we can use an open number line to help us with subtraction questions. So let's get started. First one we're going to do together is 57 minus 23. The first thing I want to do is place my 57 on the open number line. And you can see I've placed it down here. And that's where we're going to start from on our subtraction problem. We're going to subtract 23 from it. Of course, we still need to know that 23 is 20 plus 3. This is going to help us on our open number line on how to jump. Now, as before, we've had some trouble figuring out how we got 20 plus 3 from 23. I'm going to continue to review this over and over again until we've all got it, because I want to make sure everyone is getting this correct. We take 23, we can draw a line between it, and then we have the 10 side and the ones. We have 3 ones and 2 10s. We know that 2 10s equals 20, and of course, 3 ones equals 3. Now that we know that, we know how to jump. So we have two 10s that we're going to jump. And of course, when we're subtracting, we're going backwards. We're going to go to the left. We're going this way because our numbers are getting smaller when we subtract. So let's start jumping. First, we're going to jump our 10s. And we're just going to do one 10 at a time. You can do more, but right now, since we're just getting started, I just want to do one 10 at a time. So we jump one 10 backwards, and we get 47. Now, in case you're confused on how we got 47, let's look back at our hundreds chart. If you remember, we had 57, and we go up 1. That's like going minus 10. We go to 47. We continue to go up minus 10. Our 1s always stay 7s, and our 10s get smaller by 10 every time. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. They continue to get smaller. So that's how I know that 47 is correct. Now let's subtract our second 10 because we have 2 10s to subtract. We've subtracted one 10, got 47, another 10, and got 37. Now we've done our 2 10s. Are we done yet? No, we have to subtract our 1s. How many 1s do we have to subtract? 3, that's right. So let's go ahead and start jumping backwards by 1s. We're counting backwards now. 1, 1, 36, because 36 comes before 37. Let's do another 1. Now we're at 35, so we've counted backwards with 2 1s. Let's do one more 1. We're landing at 34. Now let's count and make sure. I've done 2 10s, 3 1s. 2 10s is 20, 3 1s is 3. Makes 23. So we've landed on 34. That's our final place to stop, which means that 34 is the answer. 57 minus 23 equals 34. Now, are we experts? Not quite yet. Let's do a couple of more and see how we do. So we're going to do this one, 35 minus 12. Of course, first, we place our 35 on the open number line. Then we take our 12 and we break it up into 10 plus 2. Again, let's review how we did that. We take our 12 and we draw a line between it. And by doing that, we've broken up the 1s from the 10s. 1 10 equals 10. 2 1s, of course, equals 2. So with 1 10, we're just going to jump backwards 1 time for 10. And of course, subtraction means we go left. And 1 jump backwards would make 25. Again, how do I know that's correct? I think back to what I've done before because we've done subtraction on a hundreds chart. If you haven't, go back and watch those videos. So we have 35, we go backwards 10, and we get 25 because every time you go up, you're going backwards 10. So we've done 110. Now let's do our first one, and we get 24. Again, we have to do how many ones? 2. And if we do one more 1, we get 23. Now, let's look. I've got 1 10, which I have right here, and 2 1s, which I have right here, which means we should be done, and we are. So 23 is our landing place, which means that 23 is the answer. 35 minus 12 equals 23. Let's do one more. 68 minus 31. Does anybody remember? What do I do first? I hope you said that. Put 68 on the open number line. So we're going to put it at the very end. And then we're going to start, what do we do next? We break up the 31. So we have 31 equals 30 plus 1. So we take our 31, what do we do to it? We draw a line between it. And that breaks it up into 2 parts. What are the 2 parts? Who remembers? 10s and 1s. I hope you got that right. We know that 3 10s equals 30. And 1 1, of course, equals 1. So we're going to continue to start jumping. Of course, let's not forget that when we subtract, we go to the left. Let's do 1 jump. So 1 jump, and we have to do 3 10 jumps because we have 3 10s here. 1 jump takes us to 58. Again, I want to take us to our hundreds chart just to make sure we understand why this is correct. If we have 68, and every time we go up, we're going backwards 10. If I go up 1, I land on 58, which is what we have right here. So we know that is correct. So we've done 1 10. Let's do another 10, and we go backwards to 48. That's just 2 10s. We have 1 more to go. 3 10s. So are we done with our 10s? Let's check. I have 3 10s here for 30. I have 3 10s here, 10, 20, 30. So it looks like the 10s are correct. Now I need to count by 1s. How many 1s do I count backwards? Just 1 this time. This should be pretty easy. What comes before 38? Do you know? 37. I'm sure you got that right. So let's check and see. I have 3 10s, which is here. I have 1 1, which is here. That should be it, and it is. We circled 37 because that's the last place we landed, so we know that 68 minus 31 equals 37. Now, for those of you who know how to break these numbers apart and are pretty good at it, we're going to stop right there. However, if you're still wanting a little bit of help on breaking these numbers apart, we're going to do 4 together just for practice. So stay with me if you want to practice breaking those numbers apart. And I think you know if you need some extra help on that. So let's do those together. Let's start with the number 98. The first thing we're going to do is separate the 2 digits. We have 9 10s and 8 1s. 9 10s makes, count by 10s 9 times, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So that's going to make 90 for our 10s, and we have 8 1s, which means that 98 equals 90 plus 8. Look at this next one for a minute. See if you can figure it out. How many 10s and how many 1s are in 76? How many 10s and how many 1s? Did you get 7 10s and 6 1s? Good. And 7 10s makes what number? Count by 10s 7 times. I bet you got 70. And of course we know 6 1s equals 6, which means 76 equals 70 plus 6. Let's do 2 more. We have the number 53. I'm going to pause for a second. See if you can guess what's going to go everywhere. How many 10s? How many 1s? 5 10s and 3 1s. How much is 5 10s worth? Count by 10s. You should have gotten 50. I'm sure you did. And of course 3 1s is 3. Now, can you tell me what 2 numbers make 53? 53 equals 50 plus 3. I bet you're getting better already. Let's do 1 more. 42. Again, I'm going to pause. I want you to see if you can figure out how many 10s and 1s, what are the 10s worth, what are the 1s worth, and what's going to be our final equation. Let's look at the first one now. How many 10s and how many 1s are in 42? 4 10s and 2 1s. And 4 10s are worth how much? 40. 2 1s, of course, are worth 2. And what is our final equation going to be? 42 equals 40 plus 2. Thanks for practicing again with me today. I sure do appreciate it. I know you're getting better all the time. So continue to work hard, and I can't wait to see you again soon.